Welcome to the Afterspin, opinions from thought leaders in our state. I want to ask John Hood and Chris Fitzsimon. Senator Richard Burr has been involved in a controversy of the sale of securities he sold just before the COVID-19 virus became so serious. Reports showed he received millions of dollars from his sale, and there have been mostly Democrats, calling for him to resign from the Senate. One viewer asked us, who would make the appointment to fill his seat? What would be the process, and who might likely be chosen? Well, what say you, John Hood?
Well, under current state law, as I understand it, which was changed recently, the party of the senator who resigned, the executives of that party, the leaders of that party, would then submit three choices from presumably that party to the governor. So it will be Governor Cooper who ultimately fills the vacancy for if Burr were to leave before the end of his term. Now, if he left sometime quickly, in the next several months, then you'd put that person on the ballot in November. Otherwise, that person will be on the ballot, I believe, in 2022.
Yeah, it's supposedly the next election, I
think if Burr were to step down, he were to step down within less than 60 days to the election, I think that the appointee would then be up for election in 2022.
So, any names you've heard?
Well, sure, you've got several people in the congressional delegation, like Richard Hudson, perhaps David Rouser, George Holding, who's not running for re-election. That might be a pick. You've got a former governor out there. You've got a Speaker of the House and a Senate leader. These are among the people you could imagine might be selected in that scenario.
Got a whole herd of them. Chris, what's your reaction to this?
Well, it is important to note that before 2018, the governor of North Carolina made the appointment, and he or she had to appoint a member of the party of the senator who resigned. Only 6 states in the country actually require the governor to appoint a member of the party of the person who is resigning the seat. The General Assembly, in its finite wisdom to continue to take power away from the governor, wanted to have even more control. So in 2018, they allowed the Republican Party, in effect, to give him a list of 3 names, and they'll choose it. I think it's worth not leaving this segment without realizing that a couple of weeks ago, we had the astonishing action of federal agents confiscating the cellular telephone of a sitting United States senator. I cannot remember the last time that has happened. There are also allegations that Senator Burr's brother-in-law benefited from the advice.
Right.
And you mentioned it's mostly Democrats. It's actually a lot of people on the right. Everybody from Tucker Carlson and some other folks on the right side of the political spectrum has called on Burr to resign. A lot of other Republicans have been critical. Remember, Senator Burr chaired until recently the Senate Intelligence Committee, which released a report that said the Russians interfered in the election to help President Trump. He also subpoenaed the president's son. So there are a lot of Trump supporters that don't like Senator Burr. I think it's hard to imagine a scenario in which Senator Burr survives this, but I do not think he will resign soon, because I don't think the Republicans want to have to want this person to the replacement to stand for election twice, this November and then 2 years later. So I think we'll see an appointment that will take effect, and that person will be senator and then run in 2022. I think NC Spin panelist Bob Orr should be on the list.
Oh, all right. He'll be flattered to hear that. Well, thank you for watching the Afterspin. More video all during the week on ncspin.com.